Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Prime Talks. In here, we're going to have deep conversation and transforming ideas that are going to shape our today's world. I am Irene Minja, but I'm not alone. I'm going to be with my friend
Nema James.
Yes, so today's conversation is about Gen Z. Nema, when you hear about Gen Z or Generation Z, what comes in your mind?
Well, firstly, when you talk about Gen Z, first off, we are Generation Z. It is our generation which is supposed to be shaping the future. And right now, we've come to this conclusion where there are two worlds, but one generation, as in, like, we have two different perspectives of the same generation, especially when it comes to finances and development. And so that's what we're going to be talking about right now. That's the key places where we're going to be hitting. And we happen to just analyze it into five different secluded sections where we're going to talk about it individually. So right now, I need you to put yourself in the shoes of a person who is earning money, or I'll put myself in the shoes of a person who was already born into wealth.
So coming to my side of opportunities, we, the ones who are having poor background and have to gain wealth on our own, I need to work hard so that I can get opportunities. You see, even the schools that I can afford are of lower quality. And however, most of the times I need to work so that I can get the fees to pay for the schools. And networking, I have to build the networks. Different from your point of view, whereby the networks are already in the family. So coming to the other side, mindset and values. What are your mindset and values?
Well, given that I'm on the side of a person who's already born into wealth, there are particular ways where people who are born into wealth, especially the youth, tend to act. So I have gone to private schools and I have met people who have parents who are government officials. And most of the time, they won't put 100% in their studies because they know that their parents are there. They know that the position are there for them. So they don't have to work as hard as people who came from a lower class background. So in real sense, they tend to like generate a mindset what makes you feel like, you know what, it's there. I don't have to work hard. It's not my responsibility because whatever happens, I will still have a position and I will still be able to get a job, which is quite different from you guys where you need to actually generate that for yourself. So like based on your parents, how hard is it for you to generate that opportunity for yourself? Like, what are your stepping stones? What are you doing?
Okay, so first and foremost, my mindset and values are different from you, as you said. My mindset is based on to prove people that I'm worthy. So let me give you an example of a girl named Oprah Winfrey. She is coming from a very, very poor family, and yet alone she has a single mother. But above all, she also faced abuse. She herself and her mother. But she has this mindset. I mean, she had this mindset whereby she suddenly worked hard and became a TV correspondent. You see, so I think that the mindset of us, the ones who are gaining money on our own, the ones who are looking and searching for our money, is different from you guys. So coming to the other side, how do you carry your risk?
Okay, in terms of risk tolerance, we're gonna refer to like situations where if my parents were wealthy or my parents were middle class, I would have a very substantially low risk tolerance because I wouldn't be taking really big risks because I know that my parents will back me up financially. So my risk will be more like it'll be clearer, it'll be safer in comparison to a person who doesn't have anything and is trying to do something great in order to generate wealth. So that means that their risk will be a lot higher. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I can't take big risks. So I'm gonna ask you, what about you in your perspective? How do you manage your risk tolerance according to the lifestyle that you have?
Okay, so I face many risks. You see, I need to work hard, and on my hard work, there can be many risks. So I need to have this capability of facing them. One of the challenges I can face is like corruption, since I don't even have money. You see, so I need to be this kind of person who deals with them. Ahem. So coming to the other point is perception and public image. How do you build your public image? How should others see you?
Well, personally, I feel like from my side, as a person who's already born into wealth, your parents or your descendants already built that public image for you. Because if you talk about a person like Anderson Cooper, his great great grandfather was the wealthiest man in America during his time. So automatically, he already has credibility from him. And through his wealth, he also became wealthy. So he came from something. But putting that aside, there are people like Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Her parents were business individuals who made tons of money. So for her to be put into the music industry was like that. It was a quick thing. It wasn't a step that they needed to think a lot about because they already had the resources to get her to that position. And there are even famous actors who also have the same credibility as these people who are already born into wealth. So it's like it's easier for us to build a public image based on our parents in comparison to a person who came from nothing. A person came from a side where it is not known to the public. So you as a person in that side, how hard is it for you to build that public image to the society, your perspectives?
Trust me, it is very, very hard. You see, it's not that simple as yours because it's already there. Well, for me, I have to work hard. I need to put my thoughts into work so that people can see me. You see, nobody will acknowledge me just because I am coming from a poor family. Nobody sees things out of sympathy these days. So I need to work hard to have a good image. And that is very, very hard, trust me. Yeah, so
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that there's a difference in work ethics that are going to occur between a person who's already born into wealth and a person
yeah,
from.
absolutely, absolutely. So a person who is born out of nothing, like having a very poor background, is going to work harder than a person who is born into wealth because they don't see the pain in finding the money. You see, the money is already there. But compared to me, the one who I am from a very poor background, I'll see like it pains me. I see the struggles, the hustles that I need that I did so that I can achieve that money. You see.
All right. Okay. But okay, on your perspective, do you feel like if I were put in a position where I do have my family, however, I cannot obtain the resources, that I wouldn't be able to build myself up?
Come again?
For instance, we put my family aside.
Mhm.
I come from a wealthy family, but we're gonna put that aside and we're just gonna focus on me. And then we're gonna just put myself in a position where I have to fend for myself despite of my wealthy family. Do you feel like because there's a difference even when you're born into a family full of poverty and a family that is wealthy, there automatically a natural difference in perspective between a person who's wealthy born and a person who is from a poor environment. So that's like by nature, it is like that. So my ideal plans for businesses and your ideal plans for businesses and development are quite two different,
Very, very, very
different, yeah, paths, right? Yeah. So in saying so, do you feel like if you put me in a position where I didn't have my parents' support, but I stood myself, but I came from that background, do you feel like I'll be able to build myself up more in comparison to a person who doesn't have that family at all?
Well, that is very minor. I mean, it's of 100%. I give that 25% because let's talk it real. You see, you didn't experience any kind of pain. You don't have any ideals of struggles, you see? So a person needs to have a drive so that it can motivate them to do something. Your ideals will be like having this kind of project, not making something out of nothing, trust me. So it'll just be like making something out of something since you already have it. You get me?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's finish it up with the last category, which is philanthropy and social responsibility.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about philanthropy, we mean like how rich people or people who are well developed give to the society. Now, we're talking about people like Elon Musk, we're talking about people like Bill Gates. These are people who are well known philanthropists who give out to the society. And they do so by doing investments and charities and stuff like that. Now, there is a difference between the way I will give to society as a person who's born into wealth and a person who is not born into wealth, because
Sure.
I would tend to have a particular different motive, a motive which somehow is malicious in comparison to a person who knows the struggle. So I would look good into the society because I'm starting charities, I'm funding different businesses and different organizations, but that is all done in order to make myself look good.
Yeah, your
That's
image.
done to raise my bar, my credibility. So what about you? Why do you do it?
You see, I would give out to others because I have been there. You see, I know the pain of having nothing. See, I give out charity, even if it be charity. I give out charity because I know what being poor feels like. So it's not about creating my image, but it's about feeling how I was in there. So it's about being real. You know, I am real because I have experienced the realities in there. I have been poor and I know how it feels to be poor. So I give out, not create my image, not create like how people see me, but to make myself feel like relieved, you see?
All right.
Yeah, out of feeling bad for them. Okay, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter you're coming from a rich family or from a poor family. It's all upon you to create opportunities for yourself because it burns on you to be who you want to be in the future.
So generally, it really doesn't matter which background you're from. What matters is that you're able to use your creative thinking to turn the problems that face society into a financial investment, which can generate profit for you. So, in other words, as well, the next talk on Prime Talks will be about relationships and self development. And in this talk, we're going to teach you guys about different things that face different generations and things that have been carried from the past up to present, and how the present generation is able to overcome such difficulties in their societies. So, I hope that you have enjoyed this talk and stay tuned for the next one. I am Naima James.
And I'm Irene Ninja. Till next time.
Ciao.